Hello, my name is Angelique and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to try to walk any new students or anyone just curious about how UCI works. Now, as you may know, UCI Fall Quarter 2020 will be remote or online, and it's very possible that the following quarters will continue to do this remote learning or some type of hybrid situation where a lot of this information would be valuable and you probably won't get because all orientations are online. So hopefully this helps you navigate UCI. Before I start, I'm going to give a little intro about what UCI is. So what is UCI? UCI stands for University of California, Irvine, and is part of the UC system, which, fun fact, our former chancellor just became the new UC president. Basically, the UC system consists of 9 big public research universities scattered throughout California. They don't really have much in common that students will see besides tuition, the quarter system, which I will talk about later, research opportunities, a study abroad program, and some networking. UCI is built up of 11 big schools, including engineering, humanities, education, biology, and our one-of-a-kind information and computer science school, and so many more, including 2 graduate schools that are law and medicine. We do have a few other grad programs, but they don't really affect undergrads much, except for when they come in on main campus and ask you what it's like to live in the dorms or how to get to places on main campus, because they actually don't interact as much on main campus as undergrads do. As of today, there are more than 80 majors and more than 70 minors that you can apply and be a part of here at UCI. The campus is also really beautiful, and if you've never been and if you don't plan to live on campus, I suggest you go visit and just walk around the park, and if you can't, there are virtual tours online. I will link it down in the description. Main attractions here, of course, are Aldrich Park, that is the heart of the campus, Inner Ring Road, which surrounds the outer part of the park, Outer Ring Road, which pulls campus together in a huge circle, which you can follow if you ever get lost. Lastly, if not on campus, UTC is the biggest and the most popular space for students to go when they are not in class, which you can reach through a bridge across from the library, and is the quickest way to get some good boba, some lunch, or go for a quick Target run. As mentioned, UCI is on the quarter system just like the rest of the UCs with some exceptions, and that includes a fall, winter, spring, and the optional summer quarter. The quarter system is a 10-week instructional session with about a week for finals. So about 11 weeks in total. Oh my god, there was someone sitting in the car in front of my house this whole time. I'm so embarrassed. If you're curious when you pay tuition, I will link down below UCI important dates for the 2020 to 2021 school year, so that you can check that out and you can know exactly when you're going to be paying tuition. But you can expect to pay about 2 to 3 weeks before instruction starts. You can pay into week 3 of instruction, but there will be that $50 fee. Now, if you're dorming on campus, I believe that your payment is due exactly a month after tuition is. Like for me, it was like September 16th, my first tuition check was due. And then on October 15th, my first housing payment was due. That's kind of how that worked. I don't know if they're still doing that. Again, I will list the dates down below so you can see exactly when you'll be paying. But I think it's about a month you get to pay housing afterwards. So you don't have to pay everything at once. I know orientation or SPOP this year is going to be online on Canvas, and you can kind of expect to get like a quick rundown of like what your school is, or if you're in a school, I mean, you could be undeclared, and what classes you should be taking, and then you will register. For my SPOP last year, they did a lot of presentations and videos about cheating and safety, so they might show those too, or have them available because I think they are a requirement from the state. But mainly orientation for UCI is about getting you ready to register for classes and getting you ready for your classes. If you want to check out what classes you should be taking, I believe that they just released the UCI catalog for the 2020 to 2021 school year. I will also link that down below so you can take a look at that. You can find yourself a sample program of study for every single major that you can think of here at UCI. There is a sample program of study. Undergraduate, undeclared, I'm not 100% sure what you should be taking. I will link the UCI subreddit down below, so there you can just search in the search bar and I'm sure you'll get some guidance on there. But if you do have a declared major or you plan on switching into a major, there is that planned program of study where you can expect to see what they will tell you to take at SPOP. So again, you can visit the UCI catalog and find a sample program of study for your major to see what classes you should be taking and help you get an idea of what your 4 years at UCI will look like class-wise. These don't take into consideration any credits you have coming in or already have. And let's say you did not pass the physics placement test, or if you passed the math placement test, you will have to do all that research on your own. But it is a nice resource, and you can click the classes that it suggests to you, and it will tell you what are the prereqs for that class, how many units the class is, and a basic rundown for it. So I use that a lot. Actually, I kind of use that to make my 4-year plan. So that is a good resource to use and keep up to date with it. Disclaimer, these may not always be accurate and up to date, so always see a counselor before making any drastic decisions like changing or adding a major or minor. All courses offered at UCI will be listed on the UCI schedule of classes, which you can reach through the registrar website. Again, I will link the registrar website down below. You can choose the department of the class you are looking for, and if you know the class number, you can enter that too. A tool I find really helpful is an almanac to build my schedule and make sure that none of my classes conflict. Be sure to note the class code because you will need this when you register. After you plan your schedule, make sure you have added in required discussions, labs, or tutorials because you will not be able to sign up for these classes if you do not take the discussions, labs, or tutorials that are required for that class. Most classes do require discussion, some do require labs, so make sure you are double checking that you have all of those into consideration when you're planning out your schedule. Again, I suggest planning your schedule before you register. So that's why you would check a sample program of study and then plan with the classes offered this quarter. Another thing I might want to note is that not all classes are offered each quarter, so you need to be checking the schedule of classes to make sure that the classes you have in your plan are actually available for that quarter. After you plan your schedule, make sure you have added any required discussions, labs, or tutorials. You will have to register for classes when your registration opens on WebReg. Again, this is the only place you can register for your classes. You enter the course code, making sure add is checked, and hit send request. If you do not add a required discussion, lab, or tutorial, you will be dropped from your class. After you register, log out and log back in and click study list where you can make sure all of your classes that you wanted are listed. You can also check student access to check this afterwards. After you register for your classes, you just kind of have to wait for your professors to make the Canvas website and upload it and make it public, and it's just this long process, and you probably won't see any of your classes show up on Canvas until like 3 days before class starts. So expect to see that. There will be some professors who will post it like a week before, but honestly, I don't really see that happening for a lot because I think they are trying to plan this very, very precisely. So do not expect to see all your classes up the second you register. You will see 0. Now, I don't think I mentioned this, but UCI does use Canvas, and from this point on, you won't really be using anything but Canvas and checking your email to keep up with classes. So again, from here on out, Canvas is really going to be the only thing you check to keep up with classes besides your email. Now, there are a few ways that your professor will handle classes, which is either live on Zoom, pre-recorded, uploaded to Canvas, or no lectures at all. And keep in mind that TAs do run discussion and labs, so they will make their own plan and they will probably choose one of these 3 options again. So again, even if your professor does not do live Zoom sessions, your TA may want to do so for discussions or labs, so keep that in mind and read your syllabus. Canvas will hold your class files, syllabus, grades, links to homework, discussion boards, and again, any pre-recorded lectures or Zoom links. And anything that is not on Canvas will most likely be emailed to you because anything that's urgent, professors just like to email so that students can get it quick because you do not get notifications from Canvas unless you turn notifications on. So urgent things will most likely be sent through your email. So be checking your email at least 2 to 3 times a day. Again, this is your UCI email, not your personal email. So use your UCI email for anything school related. If you're going to be emailing professors, which I highly suggest, please do so professionally. Here's a template of what a professional email to a professor looks like. Be sure to mention your name, the class you're in, and maybe the class code and your student number. That's optional, but just make sure that the professor knows who this email is coming from and from what class. Again, I suggest utilizing your email to get in touch with professors and TAs if you are concerned or have a burning or personal question that can't be posted on a Canvas discussion board. But again, be sure to be professional and do not bombard professors with emails. Use these emails wisely. So what do classes at UCI typically look like? So at UCI, there is usually different categories of your class and a percentage of each contributes to your final grade. Here is a sample grade distribution that I've had for one of my classes. Usually, a class at UCI will consist of participation, homework, midterms, finals, or any projects. Expect to have anywhere between 1 and 3 midterms for each class, and keep in mind that midterms can start anywhere from like sometimes week 2, but usually week 3 to week 9. So about majority of the quarter, you'll have midterms scattered around. And to get the grades for these midterms takes up to 7 days, and keep in mind that a lot of professors do use all 7 days to grade midterms. You will get those nice professors who sometimes grade on the same day or will give you the test scores the next day, but usually I think professors take between 3 and 5 days to release grades for midterms, so do not sit at your computer clicking refresh 100 times, because I definitely did that my first quarter here, but that is not the thing to do. And also, don't be surprised if you don't see any homework or participation grades until the end of the quarter, because I definitely had a lot of professors who never put a single homework grade into Canvas until like the last day before grades were due. So keep that in mind. Canvas is not very accurate with your grades unless your professor tells you they are. So if a professor does not explicitly say the grade on Canvas is your grade, assume that the grade on Canvas is not your actual grade, and you should be calculating your own grade on your own if you really want to know, which you can do using the syllabus and the percentages and the breakdowns that it gives you. Now, for final official grades for your classes, you will get them exactly 1 week after the last day of finals. And you can get your GPA 2 days before in the financial aid portal, but you didn't hear that from me. Again, only your GPA, not your grades. Now, I would just like to say congratulations for getting into UCI, or if you're not, I wish you well on your journey here. This is definitely an interesting situation, and I'm really kind of excited, is that the right word to use, to see what UCI is going to do for fall quarter, because spring quarter was kind of a mess and it was really disorganized, but I understand that professors did that the best that they could with the time that they had to prepare. So yes, good luck. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Tell me your major. I want to know like what the new class looks like. So tell me your major down below. If I miss anything, I can make a second video, or I can make a new video explaining more about UCI, maybe more specifically like what it's actually like to be in class here at UCI. But just let me know. I'll get to it, and thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped.